네, 약속드린 시간이 됐습니다.
So now is the time to start the special session. Hello everyone, nice to meet you. The 10th 21st Century Human Value Forum Humanities City Conference. I'm Lee So-yeon, moderator of today's session. I would like to give my deep thanks to all the distinguished guests and participants from both online and offline. The 10th 21st Century Human Value Forum, this International Humanities City Conference is first held. It aims to suggest the vision and also explore the right answers based on humanities. So it is held in Andong, which is the home to the Korean spirit and culture. So through today's session, I expect that Korea's spirit and culture can be spread around the world, and also we can establish the Humanity City Network. So including Andong City, there are 6 cities from 5 countries. And shortly, I'm going to introduce each one of them, and also we are going to listen to their keen insights and comments. I would like to ask for your active participation for their session. And for the success of today's session, the congratulatory remarks is delivered by Mayor Oh. So Mayor Oh is an honorary ambassador of this Human Value Forum. Now he is going to deliver his speech by video. So dear citizens of Andong, I'm very nice to meet all the mayors from home and abroad and distinguished guests. I'm Oh Se-hoon, Mayor of Seoul. I would like to extend my deepest congratulations to the 10th 21st Century Human Value Forum. Andong, a home to Korea's spiritual culture, has inherited and preserved the humanistic value in our traditional Confucius studies while consolidating its position as a great historic site. By having UNESCO World Cultural Heritage, intangible cultural heritage, and memories of the world, Andong has continuously escalated its status and brand value as a World Heritage City. In particular, in this forum, I was told that the International Humanities City Conference is held with mayors from 6 cities. Under the topic of modern world and human value, today's conference is expected to suggest a new direction and answers to national conflicts that threaten the survival of human beings and moral issues arising from excessive development of science and technology and a human value and its authenticity. Seoul Metropolitan Government has also been operating the Humanities of Hope program for those who are under economic difficulties. After completing the course, seeing the transformation of participants reminds me how much the humanities can enrich our lives. For this reason, I have a greater expectation. Moving forward, the 21st Century Human Value Forum is expected to become a leading global platform for humanities exchanges. Seoul Metropolitan Government will work together to make humanistic intellect more widely available and utilized for the benefit of people and society.
Thank you very much, Mayor Oh, and he has given us his personal message for the congratulations of this event. In the city of Andong, which is the capital of the spiritual culture, he said that he is sending his congratulations, and also he wishes that this can serve as the venue for discussing the ideas and cultures of the humanity. We have one more person that we can hear, and we have somebody who has come all the way down to Andong in order to have his remark. Now we have the honor of having His Excellency Paul Fernando Duclos, Ambassador of Peru to Korea. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
안녕하세요.
Good afternoon.
Of Andong, Shidong Bo, Mrs. Mayors from Ardabil and Kamakura, and Vice Mayor of Corinth, distinguished guests, officials, and representatives of Andong City, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to participate in this special meeting where mayors, authorities, and representatives from different regions and continents are convened to this beautiful city of Andong. It will be a perfect occasion to share the lessons learned and good practices on how we can work together to strengthen peaceful coexistence and solidarity among our citizens, and to face the challenges that we still confront in the current context. The representatives of the unique city of Cusco, our archaeological capital, are in these moments traveling from Seoul to Andong. So in the meantime, I offer this statement as a special deference to my country, Peru, that in this year, 2023, is commemorating 60 years of friendly relations and mutual cooperation with Korea. A 60th anniversary, or hang-up, according to the Eastern philosophy, constitutes a transcendent milestone and a festive occasion that allow us to glimpse a new period, even more auspicious and fruitful in the years to come. With that positive spirit, I would like to highlight the relationship of our host Andong with the cities invited today that has been able to overcome distance, cultural differences, and language barriers to constitute a genuine alliance and friendship destined to continue growing. This meeting invites us at the same time to rethink how to nourish and to promote positive values and cultivate humanity in our societies. In 2016, the current Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, proposed the idea of sustainable peace as a firm action aimed at preventing conflicts or their escalation by addressing their root causes. The maintenance of peace and the consolidation of values, thus, requires strong institutions and the building of consensus, both at the regional and national level, around the search of inclusive development, respect for the rule of law, promotion of equality and solidarity, and defense of human rights. The concept of sustainable peace is also consistent with the need to confront global challenges, such as climate change, food insecurity, and terrorism, and fully aligned with Agenda 2030, with emphasis on human education, as Mrs. Escorgueva stated some minutes ago. In this perspective, the involvement of women and young people becomes vital in the natural process of prevention, conflict resolution, peace consolidation, and human values building, facing the fourth industrial revolution. In particular, young people must stop being seen as a problem and begin to be recognized as central actors in any peace and development process, taking advantage of and maximizing their potential, commitment, and resilience capacity. This could be some ideas to be deepened in our meetings in Andong City, as we enrich ourselves at the same time with the valuable cultural heritage that will be shared to us. Those visits will motivate us to continue protecting and promoting even more our legacy, that not only remembers the dreams of our ancestors, but constitutes our cultural DNA, from which our cities and nations are inserted in the modern world. On the basis of our cultural imprints, our history remains alive, and the wisdom we have inherited lives on. Once again, I would like to convey a special recognition to the organizers of this special forum for the fine attention and excellent welcome, as well as wishing them best success in sharing this amazing city, its vision, its history, and its spirit to the world. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming here from afar. Ambassador Paul Fernando Ducles, thank you very much. And also thank you for your great comments. And this International Humanities City Conference is expecting all of you for active participation. Thank you for your talks again. And now we are going to start the conference. So this conference will be led by our moderator, and let me also introduce the panelists from 6 cities. The moderator of the panel discussion is Mr. Yang Il-mo, professor from Seoul National University and chairman of Korean Oriental Philosophy Association. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a round of applause. Thank you. So he's a moderator. He's going to lead the panel discussion and also the presentation. And also, let me introduce the representatives of each city. Please come up to the stage. The first one that I'm going to introduce is a mayor of Kamakura, Mr. Matsuo Takashi. Please give him a round of applause. Welcome. Nice to meet you. And next, we'll have a mayor of Ardabil, Iran, Mr. Mahmoud Safari. Please give him a round of applause. Mr. Mahmoud Safari, mayor of Ardabil, will also be with us. And next, we will have Mr. George Bagakis, advisor to the lifelong learning city, Corinth city government from Greece. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you. And from Tehran, the presenter is going to be with us online. The presentation will be made by Mr. Hamid Reza. Would you please be seated? And from now on, I'm going to move the stage to Professor Yang. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. Thank you for your nice introduction. From now on, I'm going to start the first International Humanities City Conference. So the International Humanities City Conference is hosted by Andong City Government and also the Foundation of Korean Culture and Spirit. So construction of international city, and also it aims to build a network of humanities international network. In that regard, modern world and human value are the main theme of today's conference. So let me just tell you about the order of presentation. The first presentation will be made by Mr. Matsuo Takashi, mayor of Kamakura, and the second presentation will be made by Mr. Mahmoud Safari from Ardabil, Iran, and the third presentation will be made by Mr. George Bargakas from Greece, and the fourth will be by Mr. Hamid Reza, Tehran. I'm not sure about the fifth and the sixth presenters. The mayor from Cusco, Peru, cannot be with us. However, Ambassador delivered his congratulatory remarks, and also this council member from Cusco is coming to Korea. He is on his way to Andong right now, so he will arrive here shortly. So when he arrives here, he can deliver the fifth presentation. And last, the Mayor Guan from Andong City Government is going to deliver his presentation. President Yoon is in Andong today, so Mayor An has to be with him. So that's the reason why he will be the last presenter. So the presentation from Cusco and also the presentation by Mayor of Andong, I'm not sure who's going to be done first, but anyway, that will be on the last part. So the first presentation will be made by Mr. Matsuo Takashi, mayor of Kamakura. Please give him a round of applause. Kamakura City is about 1,000 kilometers from Andong. Kamakura City is southern part of Tokyo. So from Tokyo, it's about an hour ride from Tokyo by train or by car. So let me just briefly introduce about the history of Kamakura. About 800 years ago, Minamoto no Yoritomo established the first samurai government in Kamakura. So at the center, there's Tsurugaoka Temple, which is located at the center of the village. And the center is surrounded by mountains, and also one side is just next to the sea. So from that time, the Oriental philosophy was their main idea and value. And this picture shows the Kenchoji Temple. Kenchoji, here we have a vegetable soup called kenchinjiru, which has been maintained for more than 800 years. When we cook this soup, all the remaining vegetables are poured into the soup. So many Japanese often call that they don't want to waste any foods. So they are working to spend all the possible food ingredients into the soup. And this is the temple called Engakuji. It was established about 750 years ago. And when there was the war between Mongolia and Japan about more than 700 years ago, all the soldiers who paid their lives during the war were in this temple, whether they were foes or enemies. And this is the picture of the modern Kamakura. After the war, for the past 7 decades, Kamakura used to have a lot of forests. As you can see on the left part, you can see the map, which is surrounded by mountain. This was the picture about more than 70 years ago. However, since it is quite near from Tokyo, it continued to make a lot of development. As a result, as you can see here, forests have been decreased, and more places are developed for the city. So as time goes on, there have become less and less forests. And the place which used to be the center about 800 years ago is Zirugaoka. And even the mountain that is located back to this temple were about to be developed. However, at that time, citizens are raised to be against that movement. And such Oyatsu movement was taking place about 60 years ago. As a result, there was an enactment about Japan's ancient capital preservation law. So we could keep the forest, as you can see in this picture. The green part in this picture will never be developed further in the future. And during the same time, there was the declaration of peaceful city. And based on the spirit, civic movement was actively carried out. So in order to make a permanent city, Kamakura is going to be a city of peace. And this is the story related to the current world. As mentioned before, new temples. There are more than 150 Japanese temples in Kamakura. On top of that, there are also some churches, Christian churches as well, and Catholic cathedrals. And that's the reason why Kamakura is known as a religious city. So all the different religions in Kamakura are praying together. So under the same goal, they are working together in unity. And this is the vision and mission of Kamakura. The most important part here is mission. So it aims to create an inclusive society. So when it comes to inclusive society, the value is that we respect a human being and also we prevent any environmental degradation. And actually, this is also based on some kind of arrogant mindset that people can control the nature. So we focus more on nature, and also we are pursuing the coexistence of nature. Instead of focusing on materials, we strike a balance between material and the spirit. And also the spiritual parts are very important. Instead of such capitalism, we focus more on local capitalism, and also we are using the term circular economy. So such values are more respected. And recently, my country first or some religious conflicts or racial discriminations are taking place around the world. And the main reason for those challenges are stemming from the ignorance of each other. If we get to know much better and if we work to understand each other and accept others, and that will make some kind of respect and spirit as well. So that is the mission that we have at this moment. And Kamakura City has a rule and the city ordinance to realize an inclusive society. And the main reason for this ordinance is that there were 19 people with disabilities working in the facilities, but they were killed and murdered in that facilities. And that people said that the people with disabilities do not give any benefits to the society. That's the reason why I kill them. And actually, that type of behavior cannot be tolerated at all. However, unfortunately, there were some people who agree with that idea, such mindset, and such ideas should be fully eradicated from people's mind. Then what becomes more and more important to have the mindset of inclusivity and tolerance. And the thoughts of each individual should be all respected. And some thoughts that I take for granted cannot be acknowledged by others. So one of the key features of Japanese is that they respect some kind of average, and they feel safe with something with great tradition. However, this can give a lot of benefits and strengths, but sometimes it serves as a great disadvantage. So by considering both pros and cons, we need to strike a balance. So instead of taking something for granted, we have to acknowledge other thoughts and some kind of differences as well. And that kind of attitude and that kind of mindset are very important moving forward. And Kamakura City made such ordinance. And let me just tell you about some of the activities that we are doing in line with the ordinance. We try to employ more and more people with disabilities and provide more job opportunities for them. This is the photo on the beach. So the sand beach can be all enjoyed by everyone. So it made a barrier-free. So even with wheelchair, they can also take a walk. And there are so many seaweeds on Kamakura. So by taking advantage of seaweed, that can be used as a feed. So we made a pork, and the seaweed is used as a feed at a pig farm. And there's a word called hikikomori, who doesn't come out of their home and who doesn't want to study nor work at all, even if they are in their 40s and 50s, and they don't get out of their room at all, and which has become a real social issue. So for hikikomori, in order to make them more social and be accepted in the community, we are making some kind of movement and campaign. As you can see in this picture, it seems that they are having a dialogue together, but all of them were hikikomori. They didn't talk with anyone for a couple of years. And as time goes on, it becomes much harder to get out of their room and get out of their box. However, with the city support, they take some courage to have some talks with others. And we also have Living Lab, which is called citizens, companies, and NPOs meet together And also by harnessing their advantages and benefits, they are pursuing some social values together. And this is all sponsored by the city government. And next part is about Kamakon. As you can see in the picture, it might be hard to understand what this is. And if there are so many ideas about Kamakon, they can closely work together and anyone can participate and they can come up with some kind of new ideas as well. We also made some cafeteria in the region. Kamakura is a tourist destination, so the staff who are working there, if they want to eat lunch, all the prices are too expensive. So there's very few cafeteria or restaurant that they can easily eat. So we made some cafeteria that employees in Kamakura can easily eat with affordable price. And this is the picture of Kamakura that we want to achieve. So all the people living there can feel convenience, and also we want to make a community that all of us can live closely together.
Thank you very much, Mayor Matsuo Takashi. That was great presentation regarding the history and culture of Kamakura City, along with their efforts to revive into the modern world. Also, we were witnessing all kind of projects and initiatives to move forward. So that impressed a lot. And also, I believe that that is an expression of your making the city into humanistic one. Now, moving on, I'd like to now invite Mayor Mahmoud Safari of Iran. Thank you. Mayor Safari made his video for us, but before we run the video, I'd like to ask him to say a few words. The simultaneous interpretation was supposed to be made. Instead of that, I would like to now give you my rendition of his speech into Korean. Good afternoon. I am Mahmoud Safari, Mayor of Ardabil of Iran. Thank you very much for inviting me as a guest, and it is my honor and pleasure. Also, I would like to express my gratitude to the warm hospitality by the Mayor of Andong. In Persian literature, Ardabil means sacred. Sacred city Ardabil has 600,000 population, and it is one of the most well-known tourist destinations in Iran. One example is that the city has the natural spring water in the area of Serain, so you can enjoy the natural spring in hotels in our city. 3,500 members of the local community and local city of Ardabil is working very hard when it is dark or bright for the city. So we will invite you to the city. Please enjoy our video. Thank you very much, and we'd like to enjoy the video of Ardabil.
In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Everyone has dreams from childhood. If a dream brings peace, it also brings a purpose. As we grow, our dreams take on the colors of reality and the scent of responsibilities. My birthplace, Ardabil, is a city I hold dear. An ancient city that I have a deep affection for. The city itself, as well as its people, who exemplify qualities like piety, simplicity, and integrity, are very dear to me. I love it. Its winding streets, its trees, its river, its sparrows and crows. Ardabil, where history bows in reverence. My city, my love. What responsibilities do I have for my city? I, who have left my childhood behind in the corridors of memories, culture, and traditions. Where is my city? In which part of this homeland? Ardabil, an ancient city in northwestern Iran, the seat of Ardabil province, which spans nearly 18,000 square kilometers. The city itself covers over 2,500 square kilometers, nestled among mountains, plains, and forests. With its mountainous terrain and a cold, moderate climate, it lies at the foot of the legendary Sabalan mountain. This city where I take my breath, we are not alone. A population of over 600,000 people gathers daily, working hand in hand to achieve lasting dreams and aspirations. Noble people who represent authenticity. The evidence of this authenticity lies in the remnants of the past scattered throughout the heart of this city. Everywhere you look, a shrine with grandeur raises its head to the sky, boasting its honor. The shrine of Sheikh Safi al-Din Ardabil, a legacy of love and faith. Our forefathers created this beautiful city at the crossroads of the enchanting beauty on the Silk Road. Where the Caspian Sea's humidity and bracing warmth, the coolness of Sabalan's permanent glaciers, and the ever-flowing water meet.
Ay ışıklı göğ yıldızlı yolaydı, Könlüme bir çırağındır bu gece. Ne bir çiçek ne bir yarpak solaydı, Ne inciyip yardan küsen olaydı. Ne bir çiçek ne bir yarpak solaydı, Ne inciyip yardan küsen olaydı. Her möhnete dözerem, Sına beni sına yar sına yar. Əhdə çıxsam vəfasız vəfasız, Onda məni qına yar qına yar.
On the bridges that are legacies of our architects and artists from the past, we build a bridge to connect us to a better future. Wish we could share this happiness with all the people of the world. I cherish the dreams of yesterday through the joy of today's children. Undoubtedly, they too have aspirations for their city, just like me.
آرزوها دارند مثل من. من محمود سفری.
I am Mahmoud Safari, born in 1972 in the Ajerlu neighborhood of Ardabil, and for the past 2 years I have been serving as the mayor of Ardabil. I was born in this city, educated here, strived here, grown up here, become a father here, and taken on responsibilities here.
فرزندی کردم، پدر شدم، مسئولیت گرفتم. من و بیش
We cut together with more than 3,000 individuals. We work day and night across 5 deputies, 5 districts, and 11 organizations to contribute to the development of this city. I am a son of this city. This city is my love. It represents both my past and my future. As a native of Ardabil, I have dreams greener than spring for my city rooted in its history.
شهرم چه ریشه در گذشته دارند.
To realize the dream of the city I envisioned, we joined hands with the children of this land.
دست به دست هم.
The fruit of our efforts is evident throughout the city, bringing happiness and tranquility to its people.
سبب نشاط و آرامش مردم شده است.
Our tireless colleagues clean and maintain over 714 hectares of city streets daily, with more than 900 dedicated workers ensuring cleanliness and collecting over 350 tons of garbage. Lake Shurabil boasts the country's longest pedestrian path, spanning 8 kilometers, serving as a health-oriented and beautiful recreational spot with cycling tracks and various amenities for leisure and sports. Now, the people have the best and most suitable place for communal sports, including provincial and national competitions in various fields like cycling and rowing. It's a place for family outings, gatherings, cultural events, and artist meetups. We are trying to increase green space per capita. Recreational opportunities, whether aquatic, aerial, or terrestrial, are abundant in this natural haven, and this is just the beginning. Achieving even greater dreams is within reach. To improve city traffic and facilitate movement, a variety of bridges have been built within the city, including Quads Bridge in the city centre and Basaiji, Niayash and Shahid Soleimani bridges at the city's entrance. These bridges, like the remnants of our past, create beauty for us. Our mission is also to create beauty for the future of our children. Older than the city is the river that flows through the heart of Ardabil. We've made efforts to beautify and restore the river, a crucial endeavor that's costly but necessary. The organization of the river continues, which is expensive but essential. A city that is my whole being and love. We strive to make sure its people experience their best moments here. Various pedestrian paths have been established in the city to provide families with the means for enjoyment, recreation, and relaxation. They spend hours together away from the hustle and bustle of daily life. Excellent pedestrian paths like Ali Korpu pedestrian path, Shahidgarh pedestrian path near the shrine of Sheikh Safi al-Din Ardabili, and Basiji pedestrian path near the 8-hectare Shariat garden and pedestrian paths that are going to be established.
یکی از یادگاری‌های عهد
One of the legacies of the past is the mayor's mansion, which we have worked to preserve.
قدیم و اینک عمارتی است در خور نامه.
It's a mansion that bears the name of Ardabil, preserving the memories of days gone by. Inside the mansion, where you step, objects, images, tools, writings, and documents breathe life into Ardabil's history. As the mayor of Ardabil, I cherish my city, its people, its customs, its culture, and its nature. I strive for today and tomorrow, alongside the children of this ancient city.
فردایش همراه با فرزندان این کهن شهر تلاش می‌کنم.
The future of this city is bright, and it is a suitable place for investment in different sectors.
So Mayor Safari, thank you very much. You're here in person, and also you shared the video where you are the main feature. So it was a great opportunity to understand your city. Thank you very much. The third presenter is the advisor to Lifelong Learning City to Corinth City Government, Mr. George Bakagis.
Thanks a lot for this honor to be with you again for second year in the nice city of Adog. I think I really feel human when I am in Adog, and when I collaborate with the mayor and the excellent collaborators that he has. I'm impressed. I will tell few words for Corinth to have an idea for those who do not know the Corinth. As a historical city, I will say few words. Concerning the background of Corinth as a historical city, it used to be a big power with colonies and flourished the 7th century before Christ. It is very known for Diolkos, which was a place that today there is a canal, but at that time it was impossible to build this big canal. So the ships, they were carrying the seeds through the ground to the other side of Peloponnese, if you have an idea, in order to avoid the big trips. Today, the canal has a length of 6.5 kilometers and a width of 24.5 meters. It's well known as a canal, as a channel. Corinth is also very known for the Temple of Apollon from the times of the 6th century before Christ. Apollon was the god of music, of light. He was a protector of arts, according to the Greek mythology, and to the divination. I heard many words from the ex-director of UNESCO, mentioning different things that brings me back to the Greek mythology. Also in Corinth, there is Acrocorinth, which is an impressive acropolis of Corinth, not of Athens, which was built during the 7th or the 6th century before Christ. Another point for those who are Christians, and I know there is a percentage of people of Korea that are Christians, is that Paul, the Apostle Paul of the Christ, wrote 2 famous letters for Corinthians, for the people of Corinth, devoted to love. And it's very related to our conference. It used to be always an international city, or polis, as we say in ancient Greek, which is similar to state. And there, Corinth joined significant Western and Eastern civilizations of the antiquity. It was a passing point through the canal or the Iolcos at that times. Just to have an idea of what Corinth is, it's a city which is very close to Athens. In about an hour, you're in Athens, like Kamakura said before, that is close to Tokyo. Concerning the theme of our conference, regarding the topic of the forum, we will mainly discuss, there are many things happening in Corinth, but we will focus to the guidelines stemming from Corinth through its recent involvement with the UNESCO network of learning cities. The ex-director didn't refer to this network, but I find it very close to what we discuss today, because sometimes in the level of the states, of the central governments, it's not easy to build ties. It's not easy to build collaborations. Although in the level of cities, many things can happen much easier. In this network, on the corpus of this network, there is the lifelong learning. In Greece, we focus, in Corinth, sorry, not in Greece, in Corinth, we focus in education, civilization, and tourism. 2 focuses which are very close to what we discuss today. I was impressed in the morning when we visited the Lifelong Center of a dog, how big it was, and I know the quality is very good. And it's something we learn from a dog. And we have close collaboration, if not close, but we have a collaboration, and we would like to strengthen it. There are fundamental issues which we need to be addressed, in our challenging era concerning these 3 domains. In education, we strive to discover our own path and create a suitable and successful lifelong learning tailored on the learning needs of Corinthians. In the morning, we discussed there in the Lifelong Center, they told us that we do this and we do that, and then we ask the people what was good, what was bad. We evaluate, and we try to correct things. We try to find the needs of the population. This is not always easy, but it's a central point. Of course, in education, the strategy we have, I don't go in details, but the main idea is to work on the city level, but also to take into account the national environment where the city level is. And unfortunately, in my country, there is centralized, many things are centralized, and we try to find our way on the city level in this centralized system. In civilization, and there are many, many things on the for the civilization in Corinth. There are many international excavations and many, many things as I described in the beginning. We try to profit from the very rich cultural heritage that we have in our city, and yet there is a long way to go. These days we are going to enter to the historical city, to the League of Historical Cities, something I learned from a dog. I didn't know that this existed, and this is a great honor for us. We have many, many things, and we try to relate it with education, with the young people to feel like archaeologists, to make excavations and things like that. In tourism, that's something very important. And I heard there are similar problems or similar attempts in Nadog. It's a sector where we have made a lot of progress the last few years. However, our goal is to apply a holistic. When I say holistic, I mean in this concept of UNESCO and interdisciplinary, as in the morning the ex-director of UNESCO underlined, of an interdisciplinary approach and integrate elements from the civilization of the city and education to the tourism. We try to find a new synthesis of them. This could be a great instrument of growth and of development for Corinth. In this effort of redefining our city identity, we draw upon the knowledge and experience from the cities of the UNESCO network inside and outside Greece. For those who do not know this network, it's a network of 294 cities across the globe. Adog is one, and Korea is one of the best countries in this network. Korea has about 56, if I remember well, cities who have joined this network. So we try to learn from the experience of other cities and to collaborate and to network with them. We engage in a productive dialogue with local stakeholders as well. We have made many events to bring the stakeholders to discuss, to create a dialogue. In this way, we hold conferences, festivals, and relative events. Furthermore, we work closely with different professors in specific themes. Recently, we signed a memorandum of understanding with the Regional University of Peloponnese to conduct extensive and systematic studies, mainly on the learning needs of Corinth within the scope of lifelong learning. I think that what I had to put in this discussion, and I expect the comments and the discussions we will continue. Thanks a lot for your attendance.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bagakis. And as mentioned earlier, we were not so much well known to the city of Corinth yet, but it is true when you said that we have a lot of the Christians here, and also according to the Corinth in the Bible, that refers to the city of Corinth. And also, if you are a Christian, you will know that there are chapter 1 and chapter 2 of that section of the Bible, which is the name of that city. So we have the honor of having advisor to the city of Corinth, who we know by the book. And also, as you also mentioned, this kind of lifetime learning city will be very important and crucial to the humanities of all. Thank you very much once again. Moving on, I'd like to now have the session with the city of Tehran, Iran. Let me now give you some explanation. I told you the order of our speeches before we start, and I said that between city of Andong and the Council of Cusco, we are waiting either of one person to come. So we have Mayor of Andong, so I'd like to ask him to take the seat on the stage while we are watching the video from the city of Tehran.
시장님 발표는 마지막으로
We will just wait for the mayor of Andong to the end of our session. So this is a time for us to watch the video of the city of Tehran. So please enjoy.
In the name of God. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would like first of all to thank the organizers of this meeting for having me here today. The cultivation and practice of human values are of utmost importance in promoting social harmony and peaceful coexistence. These values serve as a guiding framework for individuals to identify and prioritize what holds significance in their lives. The concept of community embodies the sentiment of interconnectivity and a shared sense of inclusion within a group. The theory of basic human values is a theory of cross-cultural psychology and universal values that serve as a guiding principle in a person's or group's life. As a gregarious species, people benefit emotionally and physically from interpersonal relationships. Society at large also benefits from the participation of its members in various organizations promoting mutual aid and empathy. Analysis demonstrates that poor social capital is as bad as or even worse than physical inactivity for human health. Therefore, effective management of human settlements among Asian countries is a priority for the Asian Mayors Forum if the aspirations of citizens, governments, and concerned international organizations and communities are to be realized. Recognition of this need has been prompted by a growing awareness that cities and towns have functions to perform through humanistic reflections and mutual dialogue. While urban centers, specifically in Asia, have undergone substantial growth and change, social problems that threaten humanity in urban systems have been neglected somehow, resulting in unacceptable conditions in a few regions. This neglect has not only taken the form of meager resources for essential actions and indifference to the absence of institutions capable of acting, but it has also cultivated a general vagueness about the specific nature of human values. The call for human-centered urban management through social interaction attempts to respond to past neglect. Yet, the purposes, nature, scope, and distribution of responsibilities have to be discussed in the concept of urban management. In a move to clarify the present situation, the Asian Mayors Forum sets out a few common platforms to elevate the current state of urban management through positive human action and peace. To do so, AMF offers a concept of urban management through social interaction and mutual understanding to exchange and redefine human values in the urban areas within the chain of its members, thereby presenting a general base for practicing human-centered urban management. This action takes place in one of the main specialized committees of AMF named Public Participation and Social Responsibility. This attempt serves to identify the weaknesses and those parts to be improved if better societies are needed. Accordingly, AMF can act to direct urban management efforts toward common goals, clean benefits, from the coordination of human actions, focus resources on high priority targets, and organize and initiate non-essential tasks. Also, in another parallel attempt, the AMF network of Women, Youth, and Family Affairs is aimed at cultivating and efficiently utilizing resources available for the needs of human life by exchanging ideas, knowledge, and human values. In the sphere of AMF activities, the main objectives are cities and people, including various areas of urban management and human settlements. Therefore, contrary to what is sometimes said, AMF believes urban management is not separated from planning for people. I need to mention that in today's world, it is essential that urban managers and designers consider the physical, mental, social, and ecological health implications of human values at multiple scales. Moreover, citizenship is considered to be one of the main human values among honesty, respect, love, and caring that are the core of any human society. It is with those human values that one becomes truly able to put into practice their ethical values, such as justice, integrity, or refusal of violence. Human values convey a positive and effective search, which reinforces the rationale of moral values. They are the values that permit us to live together in harmony and personally contribute to peace. Therefore, human values are a tool to manage human relations, and human societies in urban management are one important tool for peace. New research shows that ignoring human values in modern urban design and management can cause the disruption of daily and seasonal urban rhythms, the loss of social complexity, the disconnection from history and place, and the severance from the various generations' connections. Sufficient evidence exists to reveal urban systems are a powerful tool for improving the human condition. Solutions call for individuals to look beyond their personal and professional boundaries, to shape the urban environment according to the overarching principles of ethics and ecological design, leading to more sociable communities and creating a more peaceful environment. Asia for Citizens, Integration for a Better Life is the slogan of the AMF, which reflects the idea of creating and developing convergence and cooperation among Asian cities in order to provide a better life for the people by understanding the necessity and importance of the human community, capabilities, and capacities of cities, urban managers, and urban diplomacy. We at AMF seek to foster collaboration among the members of the forum to support the development of cities that prioritize safety, sustainability, resilience, environmental preservation, cleanliness, efficiency, innovation, prosperity, livability, and peace. We strongly encourage local governments, city councils, and mayors to actively participate in sharing knowledge and experiences pertaining to their respective fields of expertise. The implementation of such measures and initiatives is aimed at improving the overall quality of life and promoting higher levels of contentment among Asian citizens. Ultimately, the positive impact of these endeavors extends well beyond the national borders, contributing to a more prosperous and harmonious global community in order to reach world peace and solidarity among humans. Thank you very much for your time, and may God bless peace in you. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Golanzadeh, thank you very much. So even though he couldn't be here in person, but we were very grateful to meet you on video. So I hope to meet you again later on. AMF, this is my first time to hear this. In 2007, I think M means mayor. There was Asia Mayor Forum, and the first Asia Mayor Forum was held in Tehran in 2007. And according to his words, AMF's basic direction is quite similar to that of the International Humanities City Conference. So I expect that we could closely work together moving forward. In Seoul, there's a road called Tehran, and also in Tehran, there's a road called Seoul. Likewise, if Tehran and Andong keeps close relationship, I expect that there's Andong Road in Tehran and Tehran Road in Andong. Thank you. So I was told that Mr. Besco from Cusco, Peru is coming, but I'm afraid he cannot make it. So we are going to have the presentation from Mayor Kwon first. Good afternoon. Nice to meet you. I'm the mayor of Andong, Kwon Gi-chang. The presentation that I'm going to do is Humanism, Endless Questions to the World. So I would like to talk about how powerful the humanism is and how K culture has been spread around the world, and what is the Korean culture that helped to connect people, and what is Confucianism, which is the core of Korean culture, and what is the place, Andong, the capital of Korean spirit, and what kind of tourist attractions that Andong has, and how we can create people-oriented world. So the power of humanity is shifting the main pillar of the global history. Due to excessive materialism and capitalism, global financial crises were taking place. As a result, the main pillar is now shifting from the West materialism and capitalism to the East humanity and people-centered world. Korean culture doesn't have any border at all. Countries have some border, but culture doesn't have such physical border at all. So our culture, ranging from K-pop to K-movie, K-drama, K-food, and everything that Koreans have, are highly attracting and appealing to the world. And we can witness the great force and power of culture. Then what is the core value and core emotion of Korea? That is the connection between people. We have our unique emotion called 정, which means love and affection plus alpha. 정 itself seems to be the core of our humanism. So there's an old saying in Korean that goes, cry for 정 and die for 정. So between father and child, there's 부정, and between mother and child, there's 모정, and also between close people, there's 감정, which is more than emotion. And also between friends, we have 우정, which means friendship, and between lovers, we have 애정. And also, 고운정 means the love and emotion in a positive connotation, and 미운정 comes from some kind of hatred, and love and hatred relationship. So I believe that this 정 is the main driving force of our humanism. So Confucianism is the core and center of the Korean culture. So the best example is 3 fundamentals and 5 virtues, which means the close bonds between king and subjects, father and son, husband and wife. The origin of the Confucianism comes from China, which is the hometown of Confucius. However, this humanism and Confucianism is completed in Andong, which is hometown of Taege Ihwang. So Andong has moved the main pillar of Confucianism from China to Korea and Shandong to Andong. So Andong has done a lot of work so far. So I can safely say that Andong is a home to the spirit of humanity. The No dynasty is the place where Confucius is born, but this is the original form. This city retains the original form of Confucian culture. And it is also the spirit of the Korean peninsula. According to Lee Ik's book, Seongho Sasol, a scholar of the Joseon dynasty, the heart of the Korean peninsula is Yeongnam, and the center of that heart is Andong. And Andong is also the city full of talents. There is a saying that code, the half of talents comes from Yeongnam, and also the half of that talent, Yeongnam talents, comes from Andong. And Andong is the most conservative city, but also the most progressive one at the same time. During the Japanese colonial rule, Andong has the largest number of independent activists. And even though it is the most conservative area, but there's a Catholic culture, Christian culture, and pro-democracy movement as well. And Andong is also known as an open-air museum. So based on thinking and reflections, it has a lot of spirit, but it also provides some fun, emotion, and some kind of dynamic culture at the same time. Out of them, UNESCO World Heritage includes Haue Village, Bongjong Temple, Dosan Sawon, Pyeongsan Sawon. And also the UNESCO Memory of the World includes Confucian printing wood blocks, and UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage includes Haue, 별신굿 탈놀이. And Andong also has a historic village, which is called Haue Village. And there's a Buyongdae, which boasts the beautiful scenery, and Mansongjong Forest is selected as top 100 luxurious forest. And also the Gamichi flower field has shown a beautiful wave of purple. So nature and human beings coexist together in this historic traditional site. Haue 별신굿 탈놀이 is also registered as intangible cultural heritage. It contains consideration and empathy. Some complaints and pains of citizens can be easily expressed. And Yangban, the upper class of Joseon dynasty, provide an opportunity for citizens to raise any type of complaints or pains. And they can also make some satire and also show some kind of wit and humor toward the upper class family. Without humanism, this type of tolerance cannot be made. And Seonyu Julbulnor이 shows some kind of romance by looking at a falling flame. Sambi, the traditional scholars, are making a foam together. So this Seonyu Julbulnor이 attracts a lot of tourists in Haue Village. And also, this helped to understand the tradition and history of Haue Village and also humanism of Andong as well. And Yeki Village is the village with loss and memory. And due to the Andong Dam construction, the village was inundated in 1976. And a lot of artists are here and making a lot of artworks, attracting many tourists at home and abroad. And this walk on the water help. And there's the walk passageway on the water. And also by looking into the hometown of the past, this provides some meaning of loss and memory to the residents and tourists. Andong also provides some time travel to Confucian culture. So we created Korean Cultural Theme Park. So a lot of tourists are coming to this area. So for our citizens to clearly understand our culture, we make this park as well. Andong International Convention Center will be the main base for humanistic values, and it will serve its role as the new center of MICE tourism. World Confucian Culture Museum will be a global hub for Confucian culture. So Andong is working very hard to make a people-centered world, overcome the past, face the present, and move toward the future. So, in this Human Value Forum, Humanities, Who and What We Are is the theme of today's forum. So we continue to ask such endless and everlasting questions to the world. On the backside of this question, we are aiming to move toward a better way. Likewise, in order to spread the spirit, and also in order to make our humanism as a universal value around the world, we are having this International Cities Humanity Network this year. So ultimately, we want to make this network as the Cultural Davos Forum in Andong. And the ultimate goal of this forum is to establish the cultural community. And also by reflecting on the humanistic value, we can recover the human values and also establish the global hub based on humanities. So based on engagement and cooperation, International Cities of Humanity Network can bring us together. And this network will make the world softer but stronger. So all human beings around the world can move toward a better future with greater unity. So in order to realize this dream and this vision for the past decades and even centuries, we keep the value of humanism, and also we consolidate our status as a home to Korean spirit. So by moving beyond our great history in order to prepare for a better future, we have to focus more on human value and humanism as well. Instead of conserving and preserving that value only by ourselves, we need to share this value together with the world. And only by doing so, our spirit and our value can spread around the world. So I would like to ask all of you here to promote our city, Andong, and I would like to ask for your active support and cooperation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mayor Kwan. The Center of the Korean Spiritual Culture, also one of the list of the cultural heritage of WHO and also the World Heritage. Andong is the venue with all this meaning of this important heritage. And also, Mayor Kwan has been giving us very objective description of what Andong can present to you. So if you just walk around Andong City, you will learn more rather than hearing from the speeches. If you have a bill of Korean won of 1,001 value, you will be able to see the portrait of Taegwe Yi-hwang, who is a Confucianist academic. And also, we were supposed to have the presentation by the councillor of Cusco City, but because of the constraints of his time, we were not able to enjoy these discussions. And also, we miss those very interesting stories that we might have heard, like the Machu Picchu and also the city of Cusco and other history. But with that regrets, we'd like to just end this International Humanities Cities Conference. Today we have the honor of having the 6 presentations, and all 5 different cities have been explained on top of Andong City. And we were able to listen their commitment about what they can do for keeping the humanities culture in their respective cities. Human-based cities are their common slogans and also wishes for them to have I believe that this very first International Humanities Cities Conference will make the momentum for them to go further in their approaches. And this time now, I would like to have the session when we can have the summaries of all these cities that we heard from, including Cusco. Although we were not able to have the in-person presentation, we have had the cities of Kamakura, Alderville, Corinth, and Tehran. After having all these presentations by the mayors, I felt that we have something in common between Andong and all the cities that were presented today. So we have the common commitment for the future of the humanities. Therefore, I believe that what we have discussed so far are truly something that we can bear in mind in our future approaches. And I am just nudged by now about what I can proceed with. So I'm conferring with the MC about our schedules. Now, I'm very happy to hear that Councilor of Cusco City has just arrived. Cusco is a really far away city from the Republic of Korea, so without further ado, I'd like to ask him to have his own presentation. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
그러면 벨라스코 시의원님,
Councilor Velasco, please come forward to the podium. Now join me in giving him a big hand.
네, 지금 막 도착을 하셨기 때문에 발표 준비하시.
As Councilor has just arrived, I am sure that he might need some time for taking up to the podium. So while waiting for him to come, I'd like to ask Mr. Yang to have the summary.
So once he's ready, he will come up to the stage. So I think it's better for you to give us some overall comments. Okay. So even though we didn't listen to the presentation from Cusco yet, but when I listened to the presentation from 5 different cities, I would like to just make one sentence that gives me a lot of impression. Kamakura seems to be very old city, and So Kamakura is the city where the samurai government was first established. So Kamakura is understood to be a very ancient city. And in order to preserve such ancient city, there has been a lot of civic movement. And the city worked very hard to preserve the tradition. And also at the same time, they care a lot about to build the inclusive community, to care more about the disabled and hikikomori and many other members of the society. I think that is also very important humanistic values that we have to follow after.
And also the mayor of Ardabil. Well, I was very much impressed by the speech as well as the script. So he said that Ardabil is a human-centered city, and that in itself is really an important message to me, which I can transcribe it as Andong is human-centered city. I would like to copy that statement. Thank you very much. And also Ardabil was found to be a very beautiful and green city, which I admire and envy very much today.
And in Corinth, when in Korean, it is called Gorindo in Korean because this Gorindo, this Corinth, is often mentioned in the Bible. So actually, I was very surprised that Gorindo in the Bible is consistent with Corinth in Greece. So Corinth is working very hard for lifelong learning programs. And UNESCO has stressed a lot about lifelong learning. And when we develop the humanistic cities, we need to think about providing the right opportunity to all of its citizens to have some opportunities to learn throughout their lifetime.
Now, I also briefly talked about Tehran as a city, and not many Koreans know that there is a Seoul Road in Tehran, but we have the Tehran Boulevard in the city of Seoul. In 1977, they had an agreement between the two countries to exchange their names for the road, which is the most bustling in each of the respective cities. I've never been to Tehran yet, but according to the record, I also know that there is a Seoul Road in Tehran City. So in the 1970s, when we had the very big boom in the Middle East market, I don't know if we still have that kind of tradition yet, but in the field of the humanistic value, if we were able to exchange our names once again between Andong and Tehran, I believe that would be a very interesting case that we can resemble from these activities. So are we waiting for the counselor?
준비가 되신
Yes, I think counselor is almost ready. So thank you very much, Professor Yang. And after this presentation of the counselor, I'd like to ask Professor Yang once again to come up to the podium to have a summary. So if everyone is ready, I'd like to ask him to come up to the stage with the earpiece on. Now I'd like to have the session with the counselor of the Cusco City. Please give him a big round of applause.
Muy buenas tardes. Muy buenas tardes. Soy Antero Rufino Guamán Velasco, regidor de la Municipalidad Provincial de Cusco, Perú. Quiero iniciar este discurso en representación del señor alcalde General en retiro Luis Beltrán Pantoja Calvo. Primero, agradeciendo profundamente la invitación realizada por el alcalde de Andong, Kun Yi-chang, y los organizadores de este grandioso evento. Desde la ciudad imperial del Cusco reciban un cordial saludo. Para mí es un privilegio estar en una ciudad hermanada como es la ciudad de Andong, desde el 7 de septiembre del 2009, donde los lazos de cooperación y amistad se ven reflejados el día de hoy.
Since there is no Spanish interpreter, we cannot interpret.
Nos hacemos presentes y acompañamos este gran evento, Foro de Valores Humanos del siglo XXI. Andong realmente es una ciudad hermosa e increíble y sumamente importante al albergar en su territorio 3 patrimonios de la humanidad declarados por la UNESCO, siendo una de las más destacadas las danzas de máscaras de Corea. Estamos felices de estar en una ciudad que comparte mucha similitud con nuestra ciudad del Cusco, que fue declarada por UNESCO como Patrimonio Mundial y Cultural de la Humanidad, y que este año, en el mes de diciembre, cumplimos 40 años desde esa declaración, y que hasta la actualidad protegemos y preservamos y la resguardamos en ese sentido. Autoridades y ciudadanos del mundo, están ustedes cordialmente invitados a nuestra ciudad sagrada de los Incas del Cusco, este 9 de diciembre del 2023. Gracias por permitirme estos minutos para saludarlos y ahora procederé con mi exposición que tratará de la identidad cultural del Cusco.
Hello, hello. Now it's working. So on behalf of the mayor of the city of Cusco, Luis Beltrán, I would like to send a very big regards to the mayor, Kuo Hin-chan, and all the distinguished audience that today is present in this forum. Particularly to the Andong officials. We have a great relationship with this city, with Andong, that is manifest in this special event, and also because we, as Cusco, that is a World Heritage City by UNESCO, since 40 years ago, is also has a lot of similarities with Andong, that has, as the mayor has presented, several places that are also protected by this international organization. We try to promote and continue preventing all the historical places that we have, and we invite all of you to visit Cusco and Peru in the next years. So I would like to present now a PowerPoint on the cultural identity of Cusco. You may proceed. Puede proceder.
Gracias. La identidad cultural del Cusco. Cusco, cuna de la civilización inca, cuya organización y valores sociales enfatizaba el trabajo en unión, la convivencia basada en la solidaridad y la reciprocidad. La ciudad del Cusco es considerada la capital histórica del Perú y declarada por UNESCO en 1983 como Patrimonio Cultural de la Humanidad, poseedor de una arquitectura y restos arqueológicos mágicos. El ombligo del mundo extendió su territorio desde Colombia, Bolivia, Argentina hasta Chile.
Cusco is cradle of the civilization of the Inca Empire, whose organization and values emphasize the work together, solidarity, the coexistence based on solidarity and reciprocity. The city of Cusco is considered the historical capital of Peru, and it was declared by UNESCO in 1983 as the cultural heritage of humanity. It possesses a magical architecture and wonderful archaeological sites. It is also considered the navel of the world. On this time, the Tahuantinsuyo Empire, the Inca Empire, was extended to the current territory of Colombia, Bolivia, Argentina, and Chile.
La población de Cusco es depositaria de una tradición ancestral que es expresada en costumbres, valores y conocimientos que provienen de las diferentes épocas de nuestra historia. Año tras año, el Cusco es testigo de ricas y amplias manifestaciones de cultura viva que deben ser preservadas y fortalecidas desde su eje histórico y representativo. Así que nuestro deber como autoridades, alcalde y regidores y la población en general de la ciudad más importante de América es conservar nuestro patrimonio mundial para las generaciones del futuro, ya que somos herederos de una identidad cultural que con gran esfuerzo perdura en la actualidad, basada en tradiciones, creencias, historia, lengua y manifestaciones vivas.
The population of Cusco is a repository of ancestral traditions that are expressed in customs, values, and old knowledge that come from different periods of our history. Year after year, Cusco witnesses rich and broad manifestations of living culture that must be preserved and strengthened. So the duty of the Cusco authorities, they consider the most important to preserve the world heritage for future generations, because we are the heirs of a cultural identity that with great effort is still living based on traditions, beliefs, and history. In particular, the language, the Quechua language, and living manifestations.
El cusqueño, orgulloso de su identidad y cultura, la comparte abiertamente con los visitantes de todo el mundo. Somos reconocidos por nuestra hospitalidad y alegría, y a través de fiestas, festivales, pasacalles y ceremonias demostramos y transmitimos ante los ojos del mundo el significado de nuestra historia.
The Cusco citizens are really proud of their identity and culture. They openly share it with visitors from all over the world. They recognize the hospitality and joy. They really live all the festivities that they organize, and through parties, festivals, parades, and ceremonies, demonstrate and transmit to the eyes of the world the meaning of our history.
Inti Raymi. El último Inti Raymi realizado con la presencia del Inca en la ciudad del Cusco, Pachacútec, fue en 1535, hace aproximadamente 488 años, un año antes de la conquista española. Es así que cada 24 de junio, desde el año 1944, fue instaurado por Humberto Vidal Hunda en el Cusco que se desarrolle la fiesta más importante del Perú y Sudamérica, que consiste en la ceremonia de fiesta al dios Sol, que le llamamos Taita Inti, que se realiza en 3 escenarios históricos. Primero, en el Coricancha, recinto de oro, principal templo de la civilización inca. Luego, en la Plaza de Armas del Cusco, a la cual llamamos el Aucaipata. Y el imponente y último escenario, que es el Sacsayhuaman, donde se realiza esta importante ceremonia espiritual, es una expresión de la relación del cusqueño con su entorno y la naturaleza.
Inti Raymi was the most important festivity during the Inca's time. Last one was in 1534, before the arrival of the Spaniards. But since the year 1944, the Peruvian government and the Cusco authorities, they started to celebrate the Inti Raymi. It's the most important festival, and it's in honor from the sun god, Taita Inti. Taita Inti is Quechua, no? Quechua language in Peru. It takes place in 3 main historical settings: Coricancha, that is the temple of gold, no, from the Inca civilization. Second, in the main square of Cusco, named Aucaipata in Quechua. And finally, in the imposing Sacsayhuaman fortress. This represents the spiritual connection between the Cusco citizens and environment and nature.
Corpus Christi es una festividad religiosa que se realiza desde 1572, que grafica el sincretismo del pueblo cusqueño, donde se reemplazó la procesión de las momias incas por las imágenes de 15 santos y vírgenes cristianas. Esta fiesta se realiza en el mes de junio y también se pone en manifiesto la tradicional gastronomía cusqueña con un plato mundialmente conocido como es el chiriuchu.
A second festival he's referred is Corpus Christi. It's a religious festival since the year 1572 that is very interesting because it shows the syncretism of our history. No? The Inca mummies were replaced by the images of 15 Christian saints and virgins, so in a procession that is followed by the people of Cusco. It is celebrated in the month of June, and of course is accompanied with wonderful gastronomy, in this case a particular dish named chiriuchu.
La Pachamama, el pago a la tierra, es un ritual tradicional que se mantuvo desde la época de los incas. Todas las generaciones en Cusco recuerdan la profunda y estrecha relación que tenemos con los elementos de la naturaleza y el respeto a los apus, que protegen nuestra hermosa y sagrada tierra. Es así que cada primer día de agosto se realizan rituales de pago a la deidad femenina considerada Pachamama o Madre Tierra.
This is Pachamama is a very interesting ritual, also that it has been kept from the Incas time. It means that what it shows is the deep and close relationship we have that the Incas had with the environment and nature. First with the Apus. Apus are the mountains that are sacred, that are close to the field where they live, and of course the land, the Mother Earth. So in the Mother Earth they make special rituals, and also they put food, and after that they share the different food that they have cooked inside the land. This is made mainly in the first day of August.
Estas festividades, tradiciones, ceremonias y reuniones de nuestro pueblo mantienen una conexión directa con nuestro legado. En Cusco, la modernidad y lo ancestral van de la mano compartiendo y aceptando las nuevas corrientes, las cuales confluyen en un solo camino. Sin embargo, los cusqueños mantienen una identidad cultural sólida, porque entendemos que ese es el único camino para perdurar por siempre en la historia, como lo hicieron nuestros antepasados, los incas, y como lo estamos haciendo hasta ahora nosotros.
What we want to show is how these festivities, traditions, and ceremonies came from very old time, and they continue representing what the Incas did on their time. We are open for modernity, but always maintaining and preserving our cultural identity, because it's the only way that we can be close to our history and to pay tribute to our ancestors.
Muchas gracias. Añay Huayquepanaicuna es una despedida en quechua inca. Yapaiquichis ancha allin tutacachun. Muchas gracias.
In Quechua, he is saying, thank you very much, Kansamida.
네, 고맙습니다. 발표 어떻게
Okay, thank you very much. Professor Yang, would you please give us some comments, if possible? Just briefly give us some comments. So thank you for your presentation. This first International Humanities City Conference, as the last presenter, he rushed from Peru. We will definitely remember your efforts. And you gave us a very interesting story about the Inca civilization. And even though we want to listen to your story more, but due to time constraint, I feel sorry that we have to limit your presentation like this. So this is the end of the International Humanities City Conference. And this first conference was made with great efforts. And also, I would like to give my deep thanks to Mayor Oh from Seoul, and also the Peruvian ambassador to Korea, and also mayors from 6 cities of 5 countries. I would like to give my deepest gratitude to all of you for your productive and great presentation. And my deep thanks go to all the participants for your undivided attention to the end. Today is the first day of the 21st Century Human Value Forum. So it doesn't mean that we complete the Humanities City network. Today is just the starting point to build a network of Humanities City. So with this topic in your mind, we can think about how to realize the humanities and how to build a network of humanities city around the world. So the 21st Century Human Value Forum already marked the 10th anniversary. And after this time, we have prepared a lot of programs. So without further ado, I would like to say goodbye. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Young, for your great moderation. I would like to give my thanks to Mr. Yang. And also my thanks go to Mayor and all the presenters. And also my thanks go to all the participants who are here to the end. So establishing the humanities city is the goal that we want to achieve. And that can become possible when we closely work together. So different types of stories and presentations that you heard today shall be kept in your mind. And this will be applied to your daily efforts to build the humanities city moving forward. So from tomorrow, we prepared all the different types of programs. And this is the end of the International Humanities City Conference. And after today's conference, there will be the traditional wedding ceremony. So in this demonstration, I would like to ask all of you to join us. So this is the end of the International Humanities City Conference. Thank you very much.
네, 참석자 여러분들께 안내 말씀드리겠습니다. 앞서 안내해드렸던 것처럼 전통 홀례
So let me give you a couple of announcements. The traditional house wedding ceremony will be started in the lobby. So please join us.
네, 저희 사진 촬영 진행하려고 하는데요. 네, 교수님께서도 함께 사진 촬영에 참여해 주시면 고맙겠습니다. So now we're going to take a group photograph. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us on the stage. We're going to take a group photograph.